one of the things that will happen when you're using any of these these escapes from side control is the guy will sit into what they call a kazuri kesikatami. It's just a switch, a hip switch. So I can do everything perfectly, right? And protect against the mount. I cross face and get my hand to the inside. I start working my escape, and then Bear sits to his hip. Okay, he keeps his hip close to me. So now, sliding my knee in, hooking my foot in, right, underhooking to half guard. Gets taken away because he's sitting to his hip, completely closing that gap off, okay? So an option from here, and the grips can be different, like in the gi, you can grab fabric. Even in no gi, you can you can put your hand into the armpit or the crease of the elbow. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna do a stiff arm, right? A crossbody stiff arm. And what I wanna do is, I wanna create a bridge, and I wanna do the same thing as we did earlier. I wanna create a bow and arrow where a lot of times if he's holding my arm here, kind of pulling my arm up, keep my shoulder off the floor, it becomes really hard to turn in. So if he traps my arm, I like to go to the elbow here, right? So I'm gonna create a bridge, and I'm gonna bring my elbow to the floor. So Bear's got some weight on me, right? I'm gonna bridge and try to get my elbow to the floor here, okay? So now this frees this arm. What I wanna do next is I wanna create some space. He'll continue putting some weight on me. He'll continue moving into me. I'm gonna swim my arm back here, okay? So I'm gonna do kind of like a backstroke here, and then as Bear's driving into me, my feet are gonna start walking away. Sorry, ready? I'm gonna start working to come up. There's different ways you can do it too. Marcelo Garcia talks about how he kicks his leg up and he comes up. And if he stays on that hip, I can use it to bring him over. But better guys, what they'll do is as I start bellying down, he'll start coming to his knees to keep himself from getting swept. And that's okay because this allows him to reset. I bring my hips back in front, and I get him back in front. Okay. This will be something that happens 9 times out of 10 when you start getting into your good frames. Okay? So I create a big bridge. I start working in. I start looking to recover, and he sits through into that kazuri here. Right? So now hip escaping, he just follows his hip with mine. Right? I'm gonna go to the elbow or to the shoulder. And I'm gonna bridge my weight into him and get my elbow to the mat. Here. Once I'm here, now just backstroke and start working yourself up. Right? You can create a pendulum where you're coming up here, or you can just start walking your feet away. Top position. You can start building off it too. But a lot of times, when you start the escape, here, you start coming, and I just get myself back in front for my recovery. My cross face, bow and arrow. I start working myself in. I start hip escaping. 1, or I reset. Questions? Let's work that, and then we're gonna come to the stiff arm the opposite way after. All right, 1, 2, 3.